Hey, welcome to my channel. I'm doing a review on Underground, the second episode of season 2. And I think this one is entitled Things Unsaid, which is true. So, because we are given the answer to some stuff we didn't know. So, some things are as they're revealed to us. So, okay, I did tell you guys last time if that woman from season 1, the bounty hunter, I thought that she did take Noah. And I told you guys to let me know. Turns out in this episode, well, I'll get to that later. I'll let you know if I was right or wrong. Okay? So, I try to take my little notes here. The story opens up and Daniel, the stonesmith, the one guy, starts where he comes in and he comes home early and his wife is like, why are you home early? And he comes in and showing. Remember the last episode, he was learning to read by fire. He was trying to, steal whatever he could read of a newspaper, a note he was trying to take in season 1. And he was teaching himself how to read. So he comes home and he writes something down for his wife. And he writes the word love. And she's like, what's that? And all, excited that he could write. And he's like, I love, because I love you. But she tears it up. And that's kind of like a powerful scene because here's, two blacks together, man and woman. And he has a dream, he has a vision or a hope or whatever that he can read. But it's kind of dashed by his wife with the reality that, they can be killed for, knowing that they can read and write. So so a little little nugget of truth in that one. Let's see. 2, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, her husband was shot last episode, and so in this episode she's grieving, which is, totally understandable. She's angry and, just having a whole lot of, different emotions, and it's good to see that, her friend from the sewing circle is kind of, sticking really close to her. And one of the little scenes that she goes there and takes one of the guns and is ready to shoot. She's looking for the person who shot her husband. She's sitting outside on the bench in front of the court house trying to look for that face who shot her husband. She's angry. But she's practicing shooting. You can see that, she wants whoever this person is. You can see like she's a little bit angry at Rosalie, a little bit angry, just at the situation. She's kind of a little bit lashing out. She doesn't even feel like putting together her husband's, plans, his flowers, his suit that he needs to wear. She has to, plan a funeral, which is totally understandable. From what you see, that happened to her and what you see Rosalie, everybody's sad, that John is gone and angry. And there's just like a lot of emotion flying around. And in this episode, we learned that Harriet Tubman like passes out, just randomly passes out. And they call it like if she has visions or something like that. But I don't know, is she narcoleptic or... Was it narcoleptic? No, I don't know. But she just passes out at random and then comes back out of her sleep. But we see in this episode, Harriet, usually she's leading some people to freedom, but Rosalie is given the task of taking herself and 3 other slaves and reaching a boat. And Harriet tells her how to do that and kind of tells her how to meet up with certain people. And in this episode, we see Rosalie. She, leads these guys, in the forest where they're supposed to wait. And then she goes to this house in order to get some help, And there she has a funny feeling. She's listening to what Harriet had told her, like trust your instincts. If you see something is wrong, trust your inside. And sure enough, Rosalie goes to this house and who surfaces? Patty, the slave catcher, has caught up. Patty Cannon. And one of the subscribers in the last video let me know the name. I couldn't think of her name. I was just calling her the Lady Bounty Hunter from the first episode, but it's Patty Cannon. So She has caught up, she thinks, with Harriet Tubman, but actually Rosalie is leading this excursion this time. But Rosalie feels something is wrong, so she gets out of there. She leaves. Okay? So Rosalie gets to she's trying to get to a boat. And, I guess they're going to Canada. I think that's where they're supposed to be going. All right. So Steen in this episode, a little bit more is revealed about her situation. Her man, we already knew that he was beating up on her, so he ain't too good in our book. But a little bit more with him. This episode, he's gotten another woman pregnant and has the nerve to ask Steen to help her out, to take care of it, to get rid of it. So, in this episode, we see a little bit of the African tradition. There's this tree and this bottle, the bottles that are attached to the tree, and they're supposed to, like take the spirits away, I guess bad spirits, or, they're trapped in the bottle. So that was kind of neat to see. Steen has also, she's seeing other visions of other people. It's actually her son that was hung in the first episode, Sam. We get to know what kind of happened with her man that she had before. He was killed, Sam's dad, and we know that she loves him and misses him a whole lot. So whatever this stuff that she's sniffing is just taking her all over the place. She's being visited by spirits. She's just all over the place, which is, again, understandable. She just has checked out. Everything has happened to her. And Noah, we get to see what happened to him. So I asked in the last episode if I was right to let me know. It turns out no. Patty was not the one who took Noah. The people who took Noah, they start speaking like this strange language. And I'm like, okay, wait, are they Amish? Or, kind of what's going on here? I'm trying to pinpoint, like, what kind of accent is this? But later on when they get to talking, I think it's some Irish guys that took him. And two things are revealed to us in this episode. Okay, so Noah tries to get away, and they get him, put him back in the, there's some kind of, hustle and tussle. Noah, he's trying to get away, but he gets caught. And so he's being brought to someone, and some guy that he thinks is the owner, the white master. And Cato from the first season, this is the guy, the slave with the face that was partly burned, Cato. Turns out Cato is the master. So this is, where it's the end of the show. So we're going to have to, look next week to find out how. How is the slave the master of this place? And he's got goons working for him. Okay, so it looks like Rosalie was either waiting for the boat or she was on the boat. But the lady Patty Cannon caught up with her and shoots her. So she falls into the water, and she tells, one of her guys to go and get her Black Rose. Rosalie has actually got a name that people have dubbed her, Black Rose. So since she's working with Harriet Tubman. So she falls into the water. And we see her get out of the water, and she's trying to find out where she's shot at. So she's taking her clothes off. Something that we did not know. So Rosalie looks to be about 9 months pregnant. So Noah, we know, is the father, the baby daddy. So that was kind of exciting to see. Okay, so we have some things come into perspective, because we knew, like behind the scenes in real life, she's pregnant. I think she just gave birth to a baby. So it was good to see that the writers did write that into the show. So we know Rosalie is pregnant. We know Steen, what happened, to her man, I guess, concerned about, Sam's and the other little one's father, who he was or what happened. And we find out that Patty's back. And this was a good episode. So I will be definitely watching next week. I just kind of, jotted some notes down here and kind of fill you in. I didn't give too many spoilers here. I kind of just went round around. But this should give you a little bit of, insight to kind of what you're watching, that it's worth watching. So I will definitely be tuning in next week. I want to see what's going to happen with this baby. I want to see what's going to happen with this whole thing with Kato's, character. How in the world do you become a massa? So until next time, definitely episode 3. I will do a review on that. See you next time.